Good morning, it's Mark from the DigiSafe team at LGFL here, just to let you know about a new flyer we've produced for you to share with parents at your school, all about keeping primary aged children safe online during school closure. Now, parents may not be aware of all of the risks, but on the other hand, they may be worrying a fair bit about screen time, which often people do, and that's why our first top tip is don't worry about the time. Obviously, because of the fact they can't see their friends face to face, and because of lots of work coming in from school, they will be spending more time on devices. But aim for quality, not time. And there's a great tool from the Children's Commissioner, the Digital 5 a Day, which you can see at the top of the poster, which will really help you with that, to think about what are we doing and how creative is it, how productive, how positive is it for me. So do have a look at that. Top tip number 2, check the safety settings or parental control settings. Nearly everything has some settings these days to keep you a bit safer. They don't all work perfectly, so you mustn't get into a false sense of security, but nonetheless, they're very much worth doing to decide whether posts are public or private. Can you talk to people you don't know? And so on. Do have a look at Internet Matters, which has an amazing array of guides for consoles, apps, devices, and games, so do have a look at those. Our third top tip is get your children to show you their apps and games. You don't need to know about it already, so just get them to show you what they do, who they do it with, and then often you will know straight away if it's appropriate or not. So just get them to play it with you, teach you how to do it, and remember, if it's a game and it's rated 18, it's 18 for a reason, because of the sex or the violence or whatever, and they really can be harmful for children, so avoid those. But also, there are some recommendations for kid-safe apps from Common Sense Media, and NSPCC's NetAware project will tell you things about apps as well, so you can have a quick look at what they say as well. And why not have a look at the BBC Own It app? That's an app for your children to download and put on their devices, which will pop up with warnings and advice. Will tell them, oh, I'm not sure you should be posting that, or are you okay if somebody said that to you? It doesn't give any alerts to parents, but it really helps equip the children if anything worrying happens, with advice there as well from BBC Own It, so do have a look at that. Our next top tip is don't try and hide the news about coronavirus. Obviously, we don't want to worry children overly, but if we don't talk about it, then they will probably worry more because of what they hear us talking about in the background or from what their friends might have suggested. So use tools like Newsround or guidance from Childline about things that worry you in the news, and just ask them about it as well, because they're bound to see some things on devices even if you try to stop them. And then our next one is a very broad point of reminding them of key online safety principles. Obviously, there are many, but if we can just remind children to be a good friend, to ask for help if someone else is not being a good friend, or if they're worried or someone's being mean, remind them about not getting undressed on camera. Do have a look at undress.lgfl.net for some support with that. And above all, if someone's telling them that it's too late to ask for help, or they've done something silly so they can't get help anymore, or they're going to get in trouble for asking for help, then that's a lie. And that's a really important one, because lots of children get tricked into things because they think it's too late to ask for help. So that's something that we can really make a difference with. And our last top tip, both for the parents and for the pupils, is if you need help, ask for help, and there's plenty out there. We've brought together lots of different helplines at reporting.lgfl.net, whether that's things like Childline for younger pupils, The Mix for older teens, and other places that parents can go and get advice as well, like the O2 NSPCC helpline that they can call, and ones for professionals as well, so you can always get help. And that's our last top tip. So hoping that you can share this poster with your parents and that it's of use to you. We hope you enjoy it.